Hello and welcome to Sean McFadden's I Don't Get It. I'm Sean McFadden. As usual, I don't get it. Today, let's talk about adventures in autism, shall we? I have an autistic son. Okay? We had a particularly bad episode. As you can see, I'm all gouged up and scarred up. My thumb's almost broken. Gouged up, scarred up. Yeah. So we take my son to the Brantford General. Okay? As expected, off to McMaster Children's Hospital. My son is obviously in some sort of pain. Okay? Every doctor agrees to this. Get to McMaster Children's Hospital. Attending physicians agree, nurses agree, kid's obviously in pain. Psych consult in the morning. He needs his meds adjusted, get out. Now, I never went to med school or anything, but if you have 3 doctors and every nurse that's seen the kid saying that this child is definitely in pain, would you not sort of do some sort of investigation to see what's causing the pain? As opposed to just saying, oh, it's medication, go home? You know, go home where this happens. These lovely gouges and scars and scrapes. I weigh 215 pounds. My 10-year-old son can pick me up and move me. Okay? Well, why don't you just restrain him? Quite simple. In order to restrain my son, I would have to hold him in such a fashion that while he's struggling, he would break both his arms. And that would not stop him. He would simply keep going. Now, I don't know if the psychiatrist is going on the theory that autistic children don't feel pain or can't feel pain or whatever it is, but there is something obviously wrong. When my child is punching himself in the face repeatedly, as hard as he can, here and here, there's something wrong with his head. There is some kind of pain there. So now it's desperately searching for a doctor that will actually sit down and do some tests. Problem with that, though, given that my son's severely autistic, is there are doctors that will not even attempt to examine him. Won't even bother. Well, I'll take him up to the hospital. We've taken him to the hospital probably 15 times in the past year. He's been up to MAC 3 times this last year. Maybe it's time that you doctors actually got together and performed some tests. You know, if you have to sedate him to run the tests, sedate him. Because, you know, my son can be autistic and have a brain tumor. My son can be autistic and have major problems with his teeth. My son can be autistic and have a severe sinus infection. He can have an ear infection. Check. If you have to sedate him to check, sedate him. Not really that hard to figure out. The child is obviously in pain of some sort. Do something about it. Figure it out. I mean, just because he's autistic doesn't mean there can't be something else wrong. And I'll tell you this right now. Over this past year, that we've been trying to explain to people that my son is obviously in pain for some reason. If it turns out that somebody actually does run a scan and my son's actually got some kind of a tumor or something seriously wrong with him, I will tell you this right now. There will be an epic lawsuit because I've been saying this for a year. And I don't buy the, oh, he's just autistic bullshit. Yes, my son is autistic. That does not mean that he does not feel. That does not mean that he cannot comprehend pain. And given that my 10-year-old autistic son has kind of an epic pain tolerance, if he is indicating that he's in pain, he has got to be in massive bloody pain. But oh no, he's just autistic. It's just autism. Well, shouldn't we, after this year of hell, maybe look into something that might not be just autism? Like, sedate him and run every test you can think of? Do something to help this poor kid? Instead of just saying, oh, it's just autism? You know, my favorite question from a doctor is, well, what do you think we should do? Well, let me see. I'll consult the medical school I never went to, ever, and figure that right out for you. What should we do? I'm not a doctor. But, not being a doctor, sedate the child. Run him through a CAT scan. Give him an MRI. X-rays. Blood tests. Anything else you can think of. Is it so much to bloody ask that somebody help my child in the medical profession? Instead of just saying, oh, it's just autism. Fuck you, it's just autism. Help my son. That's it. I'm out.